Hello and welcome to Notes 1 for AB 2-year algebra. Just so you know, the process is basically you copy down what you see here. So if you don't have a printer and you can't print this, then just copy what you see, and that includes all the words and everything. If you do have a printer, you can just print it and 3-hole punch it and put it in a binder. But all right, here we go. So adding and subtracting real numbers is the first topic we're going to cover. And this may be easy for you, it may not be, but I'm just going to plow right through. So here's the rule. If you're adding and subtracting and they're just integers, meaning they're whole numbers with a positive or negative sign in front, if you have the same sign, then you're going to add and then you're going to take that sign as the sign of the answer. So let me show you. So negative 12, that is negative, obviously, and then you have negative 10, that is negative. So you're going to add them together. So 12 plus 10 is 22, and then that same sign was negative, so it's going to be negative 22. 6 plus 6, well, obviously these are both positive, so we're just going to add them. Negative 8 plus negative 2. So these are being added, but I mean, it doesn't really matter if they're being added or subtracted. This rule still works. So we have a negative 8, and then we have a negative 2, so we're going to add. So 8 plus 2 is 10, and then we're going to take the sign. So what sign is it? It's negative, so negative 10. And if different signs, subtract and take the sign of the larger number. Okay, so a way to think about this is like, which one wins? Okay, is it the negative or the positive? Okay, another way to think about it is money or debt, if you're familiar with debt. So it's kind of the same exact principle as owing money. If you owe money, then you're going to be in the negative. So let's say you owe $12 and you make $10. Well, you're still going to be $2 in debt in this example. So there's the owing 12 and there's making 10, but you're still going to be in the hole, I guess you would say, $2. But the rule here is subtract and then take the sign of the larger number. So we've got different signs, so we're going to subtract. 12 minus 10 is what? 2. And then you're going to take the sign of the larger number. So the larger number here is 12. So you're going to take the sign negative right there of the larger number. So it's going to be negative 2. Next one, subtract and take the sign of the larger number. So looks like we've got negative 6 minus negative 4. Another way to think about this too, what I like to do, is think if I have two negatives next to each other, really I just make that a big plus. So if I see minus minus, I just go plus. Okay, or you could go minus minus, plus plus. Let's just draw this up here real quick and follow me if you would. But if you have a plus and a plus, so plus next to each other, that means you're going to add. So these are when you have two signs next to each other. If you have plus and a minus, you're going to subtract. If you have a minus and a plus, you're going to subtract. And then if you have a minus and a minus, you're going to add. That's kind of how I like to think about it, but you can think about it a bunch of different ways. Negative 6 minus negative 4, so that's going to be a plus right there. And so I'm basically going to end up with negative 2. Subtracting a negative you can think of like as subtracting debt, if that helps. 8 plus negative 2. So in this case we would be adding debt. Debt is basically you're owing money, adding money that you owe. So you're going to take 8, and that's really just minus 2, right? Like I said up here, if you have a plus and a minus next to each other, like you have right here, if you see that, then that means we're going to subtract. Okay, so 8 minus 2 is 6. 8 minus 3, well, we know that. That's just 5. Negative 9 plus negative 3. Well, again, here's my method. So we have a plus minus right here. You see that? Well, what do we do when we have plus minus? Okay, plus minus. We have to subtract, right? Right there. So that means negative 9. That plus minus is going to become a subtraction sign. And negative 9, you're 9 in the hole, and then you go another 3 into the hole. And so when the signs are the same, we add and take the sign. So negative 12. Then 16 minus a negative 16. That minus a negative, we can just make it a plus. 16 plus 16, because of what I just said up here in this chart. And we are done.